All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining. And welcome to this webinar, this Amazon Q Advantage webinar, co-hosted by Cloudplexo and Ingram Micro. In session with AWS, of course. Cloudplexo, we are a cloud native IT firm. We're advanced here AWS partners. We operate, our headquarters is in London, UK. We operate within the Sub-Saharan Africa region as well, in Lagos, Nigeria. We also have outfits and outlets in eastern parts of Africa, in Kenya, and we are glad to bring this to you. We're glad to bring this to you so that we can get to understand the advantage that Amazon Q um, can bring our way. In a short while, we're going to go into a very brief um, introduction into artificial intelligence and how artificial intelligence has progressed over the years, and we'll be having Prankit Gupta from Ingram Micro. He's also going to give a brief intro. I don't know if Ingram Micro needs any intro anyway, but he's going to give a brief intro about Ingram Micro, and then he would get into a brief introduction and brief timeline history, so to say, about how artificial intelligence has advanced in businesses all through the years before we get into the actual Amazon Q um, webinar. So we can now have Prankit up so that he can walk us through, give us a historical um, view and basically how artificial intelligence has helped the digital transformation in businesses. Hi Prankit, how you doing?
Hey, thank you very much for that, David. I'm doing well, thanks.
Awesome,
So,
awesome.
good morning, David, and good morning, everyone who's joined us. Thank you for joining us in this webinar on the fascinating world of generative AI. So, as David mentioned, I'm Prankit from Ingram Micro's Intelligent Automation team, where we work with technology partners globally to help bring exciting new solutions in the AI, IoT, and automation space to the market. So generative AI has become a huge transformative force across industries and enterprises, from content creation to accelerating research to enhancing customer experiences. The use cases have been truly endless as the underlying technology of large language models continues to show huge scope for a variety of applications. And because of this, Gen AI has been reshaping the way we work, the way we innovate, and the way we interact with the world around us. So, what does make Gen AI so different from classical AI and machine learning tools that we've had before? Why does it have such a profound impact? Well, a key differentiator is Gen AI's capability to go beyond the analysis and classification methods offered by traditional machine learning and instead focus on creation, the generative in generative AI, meaning that it can generate new content, create designs, write code, and even generate insights from existing data. And this means that the user interfaces and tools arising from Gen AI really augment us and work alongside us and our colleagues, our customers. And they do it in a way that is much more human or natural compared to anything that came before. The implications of this are profound for virtually every organization, regardless of their size or the market segment they play in. Imagine empowering a small team of marketers to craft compelling marketing campaigns rivaling that of huge enterprises, or enabling individual developers to write code that exceeds the productivity of a whole group of developers, or even providing one-to-one personalized support to customers at a scale that simply would not have been possible before. So, Gen AI can help drive these significant improvements across customer experiences, operational efficiency, and really help organizations gain a significant competitive advantage. And this is where Amazon Q comes in. As a leading cloud provider, AWS have built Amazon Q to make GenAI accessible and practical for businesses of all sizes. Amazon Q provides a secure, scalable, and comprehensive platform for building and deploying GenAI solutions, seamlessly integrated within the familiar AWS ecosystem. And today, we have the privilege to be joined by Lucky Sharma from AWS, who will provide us with a deep dive into Amazon Q, exploring its core features, its potential applications, and will show us how it can be leveraged to solve real world business challenges. And with that, I will now hand over to Lucky. So thanks.
Cool. Great. Thank you so much, Prankit. All right. Just give me a moment. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Prankit. I think the way you articulated GenAI and then position Q, it's really awesome. And welcome to everyone for making your time this morning and doing the investment of your time to learn about Amazon Q business. And also, I'd like to thank Ingram and Cloudplexo for organizing this really awesome webinar to help our customers out there. I'll start with like a high level, I would say, my understanding around the generative AI, why it is really important and so powerful. And I was going through with like so many reports with so many analysts, and that really excites me in terms of the kind of impact generative AI is having. I really get excited by the like big numbers. So okay, according to McKinsey, it's going to have like impact of something around $8 trillion across many industry verticals. And the most fascinating thing for me in that study and in that report is not that big number, right? But the impact across multiple industry verticals. So according to that same report, GenAI is going to have impact across 63 important use cases, which is across multiple industry verticals like financial services, media, entertainment, healthcare, and so many others. And one of the really common theme and the really common use case around that is generative AI assistant applications, which plays like a really, really important role. And being a really top use case over there, it impacts multiple use cases and multiple industry verticals over there. And that's where Amazon Q business, which is a new type of generative AI powered assistant, that is specifically for work and can be tailored for your businesses to have the conversation, to solve the problems. It helps in generating the content and takes the actions using your own data, your own business data and expertise, which found in your company's information repositories and enterprise systems. So my name is Lucky Sharma, and I'm working as a senior partner SA at AWS. And today I'm really delighted and excited to do this deep dive of Amazon Q business with all of you. To begin with, I just like to set the expectation with this agenda. We're gonna see like how generative AI is really making a great impact in the workspace. What are the different top use cases are there? Uh, we'll dive deep around the business value and challenge. So when it comes to GenAI assistant applications, there are many challenges, right? In terms of how we're going to use the right generative AI tools over there, how we're going to access the right set of data, roles, personas, so that we are mitigating all the different sort of threats over there and actually adding the right business value over there. So we're gonna do the business value mapping, and we'll also see the various challenges while using the generative AI applications. We're going to dive deep with Amazon Q business today. So we have many different flavors of Amazon Q, but today we're going to focus primarily on Amazon Q business, and we'll see like how seamlessly and in a very less investment we'll be able to deploy the Amazon Q business and also do the customization for your business need. We'll very briefly going to talk about the various subscription models that we have within the Amazon Q to understand which specific Amazon Q subscription you need for your business. And finally, I will end this session with few call to actions. I'm going to share a workshop with you, which could help you in terms of starting your journey with Amazon Q business. I always like I always love, right, this fact to understand the impact, right, and the significance of any technology or any domain before actually getting into it. And that's why I really like to start with few stats, which gives me a good perspective of generative AI in terms of its reach and its impact. And I love this number. So Gartner expects generative AI to impact at least 80% of business roles across multiple use cases, such as marketing, sales, software engineering, product development, R&D, and even customer operations. And this really shows me a great impact and the reach of generative AI and how it is really disrupting so many different areas and domains within the business. This is another number, like another state from the same study, which really gives me another great sort of motivation with generative AI, which says like with generative AI, business can improve their productivity by more than 30%, which is a really bold number over here, right? For any enterprise, if you think of like improving their efficiency or their productivity at 30% is really, really phenomenal. So this all gives me great perspective over there. And just to put few more numbers here in terms of understanding the impact of generative AI, there is a report from McKinsey which published last year. And as per this report, GenAI is going to impact at least $8 trillion with this AI economic over there. And if I'll break down this $8 trillion, there are top five use cases across marketing, sales, engineering, customer operations, and product R&D, which gonna impact almost $6 trillion. And if we just focus on marketing and sales, which is a big, I would say, top area for GenAI, it's gonna impact in the range of $2 trillion by 2026. So this gives a great motivation and really gives us a great sort of perspective, right, in terms of understanding the generative AI, its impact, and leveraging it, in a right direction. Also, we have various studies from various organizations and various business schools, which proves the points that generative AI is having a great impact in the workspace. It improves the productivity. So there is a great study by American Productivity and Quality Centers, which says like with generative AI, we can reduce the whole like efforts up to 28 fractions, which is a really big number, right? Also, it improves the creativity, and there is a great study there which says like it could improve your creativity by at least 40 times, right? More than if you're just focusing on human only team. And also it could improve your productivity by at least 88%, right, in terms of quality of outcome that you can expect with these generative AI powered applications and solutions. So it all sounds great, right, until we reach to this specific slide. And quite often I do talk with my customer in terms of understanding their problem, understanding how to begin with generative AI. So I think before this slide, I believe till this slide, it all sounds so nice, so fancy that generative AI is really going to do a great things for us. But there are many challenges as well in terms of adopting the generative AI in a right manner and in a right approach, and also in terms of understanding the use case first and then leveraging the right generative AI solution for your business plays a really important role. And apart from these high level uh, I would say uh, recommendations, there are few big challenges. And one of the really big challenge when it comes to specifically about gen AI assistant application is lack of context, which is a really really important concern about the generative AI assistant, let's say chatbot or assistant applications. So if you're interacting with any GenAI application, and if it doesn't have a proper context, it's gonna hallucinate, right? You're not gonna get the right outcome that your customer is looking for. It's gonna get into like a loop of so many unwanted conversation without any sort of expected outcomes. And that's where we really have to understand, right, like how to use the right techniques, right mechanisms in terms of getting the right context. And this context is really tricky sometimes, right? Because within a enterprise you might going to have multiple roles and multiple different kind of personas, and these systems are really not going to give the outcome to like all the user in a similar manner, but it should get moderated, it should get sanitized based on the persona. And that's where again context plays a really important role to get the right content and to the right information for the right set of information for the right set of stakeholders. Another big challenge for these generative AI assistant apps are security, which is a big threat, right? In terms of, first of all, accessing the information in a very secure way. And most importantly, how to ensure that we are giving the access to the right stakeholder to the intended set of information, which is a big concern over there. Likewise, data privacy, which is a big threat, right? And I have seen this with many customer calls. Customers are really concerned about their data privacy. They do have this fear, like if I'm using Gen AI, LLMs could access my confidential data as well and could leak the confidential data to the unintended set of audience, which is a very big risk over there. So that's why data privacy is like a really critical challenge while building your generative AI application. One of the key, I would say, challenge for most of the compliant industry is compliance. How are we going to adhere with the compliance? So we part of Europe, we have to adhere with GDPR and UKI version of GDPR, and that's where we have to understand like how we're going to create these generative AI applications in terms of adhering with the right set of compliance. So these are the few. I would not say this is not like a complete list, but these are few key challenges that we really have to consider, and we really have to design our solutions in terms of mitigating and addressing these challenges for our businesses. And that's where we do position Amazon Q business. So with Amazon Q, we do address the challenges that we just talk about, because with Amazon Q, it comes it with so much of contextual knowledge of your company. So you can use Amazon Q on the top of your enterprise information repositories and your enterprise systems, so that Amazon Q understands your company data, your company process, and most importantly, it understands like with whom Amazon Q is interacting. Because with Amazon Q, you can do the federation, and you can sync your SSO or your AD with your Amazon Q system. So that Amazon Q should understand the various roles and the personas and the group and the attached permissions, right, within that group itself. So that it should give the outcome in a more meaningful and in a more relevant way over there. The great thing about Amazon Q is it is available wherever you work. So you can use Amazon Q within your own system. We do have out of the box connectors. So at the moment, it supports more than 40 out of the box connectors. So you can connect Amazon Q with various applications like Salesforce, Jira, Confluence, and so many others, so that it should be able to go and get access to your data and should be able to give you like more contextual and more meaningful responses out of it. One of the great, and I think one of the really key feature of Amazon Q is it attains the superior generative AI performance based on the specific task. So it can do something like your problem solving. It can do a very meaningful conversation, and at the same time, you can use Amazon Q in terms of developing the right applications for your business in terms of solving certain business problems out there. So before I'll dive and jump into the Amazon Q business, I really like to share this stack with you. So at AWS, we call it Generative AI Stack, which consists of various tools and services across these three layers. So at Amazon, we always work backward from our customer needs. And with generative AI, we did a lot of dive deep. We listened to so many customer problems and tried to understand what is the right approach in terms of solving the customer problem with generative AI. And that's where we have divided the generative AI services at AWS across these three important layers. The very first layer is infrastructure for model and inference workloads, right? Where we do have service like SageMaker, which is a very comprehensive service in terms of creating any ML algorithm, playing with your generative AI applications, doing a lot of stuff beneath something like data cleansing, creating the right data pipelines, and also creating a complete ML ops and AI ML ops solution in terms of making the generative AI application production ready. So that's the first layer, which consists of different sort of services, giving more flexibility and more control to the businesses in terms of building their generative AI application. But let's say you don't want to spend like that much of efforts in terms of your building your application, and you want to access the various models quickly in a very secure and in a very transparent environment. That's where we can lean on that middle layer, which is Amazon Bedrock. So with Amazon Bedrock, you can access various proprietary and publicly available large language models and foundation models through the API. You can also play around with a various cool feature of Bedrock, something like guardrail, which is so critical in terms of having a responsible AI framework. So with guardrails, you can filter out various kind of toxicity. You can also filter out various specific keywords that you wanna avoid for your business. And also with Bedrock agents, you can orchestrate and automate so many different tasks and different activities which are required to build your generative AI application. The last layer, which is like the most topmost layer of the stack, is the application that leverages LLMs and FMs in terms of helping the businesses to go and leverage these applications and solve the actual business problems. And that's where we have Amazon Q, which comes in multiple different flavor. Today we are diving deep around Amazon Q business. Uh, Tomorrow we're going to have another session around Amazon Q developer, which increases and enhances developer productivity. We also have Amazon Q in QuickSight. QuickSight is our BI solution. So within the QuickSight, you can use Amazon Q in terms of interacting with your data in a natural language, in a very natural way, and can generate different kind of user stories out there. Also, you can use Amazon Q in Connect. So Connect is our contact center solution. With Connect, we already have different sort of AI ML features available, features like lenses and wisdoms, which gives great capability to the connects contact center agents in terms of going and understanding the callers and the customers sentiments and their drivers. And now with Q, they get this additional capability and additional feature of accessing the right set of data in terms of giving a faster resolution to the customer problem. So In a summary, this is a very comprehensive AI stack that we offer to our customer, which helps the customer in terms of choosing the most effective and the right set of service to solve their business problem. Cool. So, like I said, Amazon Q, we do have 5 different sort of flavors within the Amazon Q. Amazon Q Business, which you can use for the work. You can solve the various kind of business problems uh, using your own business information and your business systems. There's another queue which is Amazon Q Developer. I'll not say it's just a coding companion because you can do a lot more with Amazon Q Developer. So with Amazon Q Developer, you can generate most efficient codes. You can also do different kind of vulnerability testing. You can also use developers plugins in terms of doing code transformations and doing refactoring and modernization of your applications. And like we already discussed about Amazon Q in QuickSight Connect, and we're also going to have Amazon Q in supply chain, which is in preview at this moment. Cool. So to start with Amazon Q business, if you see this left-hand screenshot, this is how Amazon Q business looks like. It is really easy to use interface where you can quickly interact with Amazon Q business in terms of getting the most accurate and relevant responses regarding your business questions. So Amazon Q uh, business is having, like I explained, more than 40 connectors to connect with various enterprise applications so that you don't have to bring your own data and then again ingest it within the Amazon queue. So your data can sit anywhere, right? It could be with any third party business application, or you can put your data on S3 as well and then connect your Amazon Q business either with S3 or these various enterprise applications in terms of getting the right and relevant responses for the questions that you have regarding your business. Also, like we discussed about guardrails within the Bedrock, Amazon Q Business also have out of the box guardrails. And with these guardrails, you should be able to do the right level of customization. You should be able to do the right level of filterization, right, in terms of getting the relevant responses over there. And you can align the whole business experience as per the various compliance and as per the various business policies that you have within your business. If I'll talk about the top capabilities, right, of Amazon Q Business, it can automate the whole experience for your customer. So with Amazon Q Business, you can discover the right set of information that you need in terms of solve any specific business problem. You can also analyze the various set of informations that you have in terms of extracting the right information, doing the indexing of the right information that you need in terms of solving the problem, and finally create the right responses for your different queries that customer is having. And most importantly, once you have create the right response and solution for your customer, Q gives you this capability of taking actions automatically over there out of the resolutions that you have received from the Q business. And you can automate the whole life cycle within the Q business itself. So if I'll just summarize like the capability of Q business, you can discover, analyze, create response, and finally take the required actions in terms of solving the various business problems. And you can automate like the whole life cycle. So these are the top use cases for Amazon Q business. Like we've already discussed a lot about like use cases, and we found that sales and marketing being the top use case. Here as well with Amazon Q Business, we can solve different sales and marketing related use cases. Something like we can use Amazon Q Business to create the sales scripts. You can also use it for different other activities like sales forecasting. Also, we can use it for content generation for creating the right marketing briefs, making it very accurate as per the business objectives. Also, we can use it for the other areas like product management, software engineering. Also, we can use it for human resources and customer operations as well. So these are the top categories of the use cases where we can leverage Amazon Q business in a best possible way. One of the great functionality of Amazon Q business, which I personally like a lot, is getting the accurate and referenceable answers. So I was trying to like interact with multiple Gen AI applications and trying to understand like what sort of responses I'm getting and how much meaningful inputs output I'm getting out of those responses. And quite often, I found like in most of the cases, if I'm not giving like a really long prompt with all the required keywords, sometime I'm not getting the accurate responses out of it. And if I have to get like more accurate outputs, then I have to lean on different kind of customization approach, right? Something like RAG. I have to go and do the vectorization, do the indexing, and then finally I can give like a normal prompt, and it will use the RAG, and eventually I will get some sort of meaningful responses over there. But in few other cases, even RAG doesn't work, right? If I'm narrowing it down to a very specific industry or use case, and that's where we really have to lean on other techniques like fine tuning, or maybe I have to go with a complete rate retraining if I'm talking about very specific sort of use cases, which I found really, really, I would say, tricky and sometimes a lot of efforts, right, in terms of getting the correct and accurate and a relevant response over there. And that's where Amazon Q plays a great role in terms of taking all these overheads from you and using the right techniques beneath in terms of giving you a very contextual and a meaningful response, because Amazon Q are having two important aspects beneath. Number one, it is having the access to the right set of information to give you a meaningful response, and it does indexing and all the other different sort of solutioning beneath without any sort of overheads on us. The second important aspect of Q business is it understands with whom it is talking, right? It understands your persona, it understands your role, it understands the kind of permissions you have, and it moderates the response accordingly, which makes Q business a really relevant sort of Genia assistant application over here. Most importantly, it also gives you all the resource referencing for fact check. It gives you all the links that this is a specific document from your enterprise data repository, which I referred in terms of building this particular reference. So just like research paper, it gives you all the references for the various different sort of facts or the contents that it has generated, which makes it really, really powerful and useful for the various businesses. So these are the list of built-in connectors that I was talking about. So at the moment, we have more than 40 connectors that you can leverage and connect your Q business directly with your system. It do have a seamless connectivity with services like Dropbox. You can also connect it with your GitHub, Google Drive. Few of the really great, I would say, connectivity which really plays a great role is like you can directly connect it with your ServiceNow and can create like a whole help desk scenario within the business itself. So that's a really powerful connector that I have experienced. And also, apart from these 40 out of the box connectors, you can also have a custom connector. So if there is some application which you can't find in this list, you can also connect those applications as well using that custom connector, where you can go and create your own custom connectors, put the right APIs, credentials, and then connect your enterprise application with Amazon Q Business. Yeah, I think this area, like whenever we talk about security, safety, privacy, and most importantly, responsible AI, I believe this is a really critical and important area for our customers. In most of my customer calls, irrespective of like what we are discussing, uh, either it could be like a generative AI use case identification workshop, or maybe if we are talking about any specific GenAI service, somewhere customer talks about security, privacy, and responsible AI. They really have a big concern about how effectively we can put the right level of granular security in the generative AI applications, so that we are ensuring that there is no security threats, right? There is no security breach, and we do have the right set of privacy in place. And that's where Amazon Q plays a really important role. So with Amazon Q, we do provide a granular security across the various different kind of Amazon Q services, be it business, be it developer, or connect and supply chain. So with Amazon Q, it federates with your identity provider, fetches the right permissions for these specific individuals, and then based on that, it reach out to the respective data repository in terms of getting the right data permissions and then responding it back accordingly. That makes the whole scenario really safe and really adhere with the various AI responsible pillars that we have. These are few more, I would say, pointers, like a really important one around safety and security. So as we already discussed about guardrails, so within the Amazon Q business, we can use guardrails in terms of filtering out any kind of toxicity or any kind of biasness, right? And also you can filter out any specific keywords that you really want to filter out for your business. Also, you can restrict the response to enterprise content only. So there is a choice, right? Like with Amazon Q business, either you can ask Amazon Q to just refer your enterprise content and don't go with the additional uh, knowledge of large language models, right? So that makes the whole response more meaningful and more relevant for your business users. Also, you can filter out various keywords and phrases. uh, One of the great security feature that I like about Amazon Q Business is it integrates with IAM Identity Center, which makes the whole management and auditing really easy to use. Right, you don't have to go and create IAM role and IAM user for multiple like activities or multiple user. You can simply lean on Identity Center in terms of managing like the whole user's access and do a right level of auditability over there. Also, it gets integrates with CloudTrail so that you can do your BAU, business as usual, very effectively to understand like who is interacting with Amazon Q, what sort of activities has been done, so that you have a good control from your operations perspective as well. Cool. Uh, this is just a screenshot that we have just talked about a lot around guardrails and other stuff. So if you see this screenshot, it is really, really simple, right? You can simply go to this global controls within the queue business. You can block the words that you don't like. You can also specify the messaging, right, for the block words. Like if somebody is using that particular keyword that you really want to block or avoid, then what sort of message you want to give to that set of users. So this is one of the screenshot, like how you can filter out many stuff over there. There is one more option where we do have pre-built guardrails, like you can avoid any kind of toxicity, and also you can filter out any kind of biasness based on gender or based on ethnicity or other things. Yeah, cool. You can also adhere with your data privacy and security needs, right? So this is another specific sort of screenshot where you can go and define the right sort of security mechanism for your application using the guardrails. I like this specific feature of Q Business. So you can also leverage the various plugins and do the right sort of workflow automation within the Q business itself. So let's say if you are already using Jira within your enterprise, then within the Amazon Q business, you can simply go and activate the Jira plugin. And with that, now your user can access and interact with the Q business application in more easier way, right? Rather than going and creating a Jira ticket and following up over there, it can interact with your Q business in a natural language, and it will trigger the respective workflow beneath using this plugin. So we do have so many plugins available. So you can use like Jira plugin. You can also use Salesforce, ServiceNow, and Zendesk plugin over there in terms of doing the various sort of activities over there, like workflow automation. And also you can summarize the whole conversation, and it can create your ticket automatically as well. This one is interesting. So apart from these standard plugins, you can also play with the custom plugin. So if you are using some other third party solution which is not the part of Amazon Q business plugin at this moment, you can still create like a custom plugin. You just have to provide the right APIs over there, and you have to put the right access keys and the other details. Cool. So with Amazon Q Business, there are many benefits. I think we are discussing a lot of things about Amazon Q Business today, and we discussed about many benefits, right? One of the key benefit for me was getting like a very relevant sort of responses, very meaningful responses. But if I have to like summarize, then I would focus on these five important benefits over there, which really gives me a faster time to value for my business. The very first benefit is like it is having the built-in vectorization. So it uses a rack beneath, right? And it does all the sort of vectorization for you without you taking any pain of creating a vector DB, doing the tax embedding, and then doing the RAG over there. It does everything for you, which eventually gives us a very meaningful and a relevant responses. Also, it comes with your built-in SSO. You can connect it with any third-party SSO, or you can also use uh, Amazon Identity Center, right, in terms of doing that federation, which again makes this application really relevant, secure, protect your data privacy, and gives again the intended outcome for the intended personas and roles. It is super easy to use. It just needs three steps in terms of creating your application. So if you can see that screenshot on your right hand side, it just needs three steps. Number one, you have to go and do the application setting. You have to provide the application name. You have to simply define your retriever, right? Like what are the data sources you have, how you going to connect it, is it from the S3 or some third party? So you just have to establish that retriever, and along with that you have to define your data sources over there. So it's quite easy, and it's quite easy and simple to do the deployment and create your application over there. And most importantly, you can also use Amazon Q business templates for cloud formation. You can simply uh, use like these cloud formation templates in terms of again defining and then deploying your Q business applications very quickly for your customer. Uh, I'm really happy to share Amazon Q apps, which is part of Amazon Q business itself. So recently we have launched Amazon Q apps, which you can access within the Amazon Q business itself. It comes along with Q business. And I love this because with this, I can do a lot within my business. So you can use Amazon Q business in terms of creating your business applications, and you can share it within your business users, right? You can create like your solution catalog within the Q apps, and you can create a number of apps for the various activities and for the various operations in terms of automating, in terms of improving the productivity of your day-to-day operations within your business. So with Amazon Q apps, you don't need any kind of technical, I would say, expertise. You can simply go to the Amazon Q apps, just put your single liner prompt that I need a business for, let's say, creating a cost estimation for AWS migration, or something else. You just have to put like a single liner over there, and then Amazon Q Business will understand. It's gonna analyze your requirement, and it will generate an app for you. You can play with the app, you can do the customizations, right? You can just play with all these frames, you can customize it, you can go and understand what sort of prompt has been created for you, and you can also do and moderate and update the prompt over there in terms of getting like more accurate responses out of these apps. So you can try Amazon Q app, which is really really easy to use, but very powerful in terms of creating the right set of applications and then sharing it within your business itself. Yeah, like I said, it's really simple, right? To create app with Amazon Q Business, you just have to go with this like a conversation. Just say what you need, and you can describe your requirement in a natural language. If you can see this right hand screenshot, just explain your business requirement, and it will generate your app instantly. And then you can do the customization. You can play around with the prompts, and then you can publish it within your catalog so that other users can also go and leverage the app that you have created using Q apps. This is how your catalog will look like. So this is Amazon Q app library. uh, you can set, right, the type of app, whether you can make it private or public. If it's public, then people within your business should be able to use it. You can also categorize your app so that people can navigate and locate the right app for their requirements. Cool. So that's mostly around Amazon Q business capabilities, features, and Amazon Q apps. Now I like to talk about few great stories around Amazon Q business that we have delivered along with our partners. And one of the really awesome story is Bears, where customer has leveraged Amazon Q business across DSE, like one of their unit, which is decision science ecosystem platform, in terms of reducing the onboarding time by 70%, and it has improved the developer productivity over 30%. So it is a great example of like positioning Amazon Q business and Amazon Q developer over there in terms of understanding the right use case, understanding how we can use it in terms of automating certain things, and then improving the whole efficiency and productivity. So I like this story a lot because this really gives me a great motivation, right? Like in terms of how effectively I can use Amazon Q business and developers in terms of automating the whole onboarding process over there. Also, there is a great case study from ClearScale, which is a advertisement campaign development company, right? Where we have identified like few repetitive tasks and did the automations using the Amazon Q apps. So again, for ClearScale, we tried to do like a working backward workshop with them in terms of understanding the gaps, in terms of understanding the opportunities for the Gen AI implementations. And we found that there are many different repetitive tasks in terms of creating their advertisement campaigns. And finally, we leverage Amazon Q apps and then publish this app within the catalog. And now many different business units are actually leveraging Amazon Q app in terms of going and automating and getting rid of like repetitive tasks over there. Cool. So in terms of subscriptions, we do have two subscription models with Amazon Q Business. The very first one is Amazon Q Business Lite, which is like a base model, base subscription, where you can ask your question, you can interact with Amazon Q Business. Uh, it will gonna give you, you can connect this with your enterprises sources. It gonna give you the right set of responses with all the references over there. So that's your light subscription with Amazon Q Business. But we have another subscription, which is Amazon Q Business Pro, which is a full suite of Amazon Q Business, which just having so many different capabilities. And also you can use Amazon Q apps uh, capability as well within the Amazon Q Business Pro subscription. So you can choose your subscription. You can choose this subscription for your customer based on the kind of use case they have, based on what sort of capabilities they really want to lean on. Cool. So I think we have discussed a lot about this, but still, this slide is to understand like why Amazon Q business. And I think I have uh, explained this many times in this session, but still I like to reiterate three important aspects of Amazon Q business. Number one, unified experience. So with generative AI application, the most important aspect is data, right? So there is no generative AI without data. If you're using generative AI without data, you're gonna get like a really irrespective or meaningful responses. It's gonna do a lot of hallucination, and it's not gonna add any sort of business value. That's why data plays a really important role over there. It understands your business and it gives you the more meaningful responses. And that's where unified experience plays a great role. So with Amazon Q business, we can connect with multiple enterprise applications, get access to the right set of data, and then you should be able to give the right responses to the various business users over there. So with Amazon Q, unified experience is really significant experience for the customers and for the business users. Also, it empowers all the employees. So irrespective of their roles, their personas, it empowers all the employees. It federates with your identity provider, and it gives the right set of information to the intended employee and stakeholder over there. Most importantly, it is available everywhere. You can use Amazon Q through API. You can also do the integrations with the various other tools like Slack or Teams or any other chatbot applications that you are using right now within your business itself. So I love these three top features of Amazon Q Business, like unified experience to access all the data, giving the right set of information to the employees based on their roles and permissions, and importantly, anyone can access Amazon Q Business from anywhere. With that, I like to give you a call to action. So you can scan this QR code and access a workshop which is around Amazon Q Business Activation Day. So this workshop is consists of all the different kind of modules and codes and actions in terms of you go and doing a hands-on labs with Amazon Q Business. This is going to give you like access to Amazon Q Business, and it will give you a very prescriptive guidance, like a step-by-step guidance in terms of going and activating the Amazon Q Business, creating the app, connecting it with the various data sources, and eventually solving your business problem. Having said that, I would say do it other way around. First, before jumping into this workshop, do a workshop within your business or within your customer business, and first identify your use case. What do you want to solve with Amazon Q Business? Then go to this activation day, follow the steps, and then implement the use case that you have identified within your business or within your customer business. With that, I think we are exactly on time. So thank you so much, all of you, for your time and for your attention. Back to David. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Lucky. I mean, this was really, really insightful. And just looking at, for example, the architecture you shared and how Amazon Q receives your queries and how it gives you the feedback. It first goes to the IAM, which is really key because we see a lot of enterprise and we see a lot of Gen AI solutions. Um, Really focusing a lot more on the Gen AI capability and not really putting into consideration enterprise security, enterprise role
Yep.
access security that is really key for enterprise customers. I think we have just one question. I'm just going to tailor the question for you basically, and which is, what would you say is the main advantage Amazon Q has over other enterprise Gen AI? Um, Gen AI solutions that sort of do similar things with Amazon Q.
Yeah, so there is a lot, right? So I talked about three important features, right, and capabilities of Amazon Q Business. The number one is unified experience, and that's where Amazon Q Business really gives a great advantage to the customers in terms of going and aggregating different data
Yeah,
sources and giving a unified experience to the customer. So just imagine a situation where a business user is trying to get hold of some important information in terms of doing their job, and first they go to wiki, right, the company wiki. They try to
yeah,
search the information, then they go to the other application, let's say Salesforce. Again, they try to search for the information, and if they're not finding it, then probably they'll go to Confluence or some other venue or avenues,
yeah,
right? Which is quite frustrating. And even I have felt so while doing my job earlier, right? It is quite frustrating, and that's where Amazon Q Business plays like a really great role. It gives you that unified experience, irrespective of the data source. You just have to go and ask the right question to the Amazon Q Business, and Amazon Q
hmm
Business will come and give you the right set of informations. And this all is happening because we do have a right approach and right architecture beneath, right? We are doing the right integrations with all the various data sources. We are putting the right mechanism in terms of doing the RAG, doing the right vectorization, and giving a very meaningful responses based on the right architectural approach. And I would say this is, I would say, like a key benefit and a differentiator with Amazon Q Business, which makes it very unique and very powerful in terms of solving the business problem for customers.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And personally, I mean, we are currently implementing Amazon Q for one or two enterprises, and personally, that is one of the main selling
Yeah,
points, to be able to integrate with a lot of all of these other and to unify your data, especially enterprise data, across
right.
wherever your data source is. And I think another very good advantage Amazon Q has is that you necessarily do not need to move your data around, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just leave your data where it is, leave your system how it is, right? There's literally no re-architecting of your system, literally no re-architecting of your identity and access management. Just leave everything how it is. Bring Amazon Q as a unifier, and have your productivity improved up to 30%. I mean, if let's say in the last 10 years, 10, 15 years, if you're an enterprise and you see a solution that can help you improve your productivity 10%, that would have been a great thing. And now you're looking at solutions that can help you improve up to
True.
30%. Yeah,
True, true.
it's
That's
a
true.
really great
I
thing.
Yeah, that's true. I like your point, right? Like with Amazon Q Business, you can do those integrations, which really plays a great role. And at the same time, you don't have to go to Amazon Q Business as well. So just
Yeah.
imagine like you have multiple enterprise applications, and you have Slack or Teams within your enterprise. You can simply connect Teams with Amazon Q Business, and beneath
hmm
Amazon Q Business will take care of like all the different kind of integration with multiple data sources. So it is a seamless transition, right? You don't
Yeah.
know what is happening beneath. You are simply
Yeah.
interacting with your teams the way you are doing it, right? Like your BAU,
Yeah.
and in a very effective way, you are interacting with multiple data sources with a single bot over there. So
Yeah.
which really gives a great seamless experience and unified experience to the businesses.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, we've hit our 60 minutes mark. Thank you so much, Lucky. Thank you, Prankit. I'm sure Prankit is somewhere in here as well. um, thank you so much, Prankit. Tomorrow, this is actually a 2 day webinar. Yeah, a 2 day webinar. Tomorrow, we are actually going to go have a deep dive in Amazon Q Developer. And Lucky, just give us in 1 minute or in 30 seconds, um, what should the viewers be expecting? Who who should be really interested in Amazon Q Developer? And why should they come back again to listen to us same time tomorrow?
Yeah, thank you so much, David, for giving this opportunity so that I can give a good understanding to the listener about tomorrow's webinar. So tomorrow we're going to talk about Amazon Q Developer. Like I said, it's not just a coding companion, but it
Hmm.
gives a lot of experience and capabilities to the developers and even to the technical business stakeholders.
Yeah.
So the people who really want to do understand business more and do like a coding in a more secure and faster way, Amazon Q Business is an absolute awesome solution for that. Not only that, I would encourage the people who are at the moment are doing certain migrations and modernizations initiative. Amazon Q Developer is a great solution over there. So with Amazon Q Developer, you can do refactoring. You can also do like code transformations. You
Yeah.
can transform like your lower version of Java to the latest version of Java. So that's just one example. Not only that, with Amazon Q Developer, you can do like you can modernize the whole DevOps lifecycle for your customer in terms of getting the right GenAI features to improve the various aspects of your DevOps lifecycle. So yeah, I'm quite excited for tomorrow because we're going to talk a lot about Amazon Q Developer, and I'm going to
Hmm.
show you few demo as well, like how that code transformation works, how you
Hmm.
can use it for the various kind of DevOps activities over there. So DevOps engineers, developers, technical business stakeholders, they all are
Yeah.
welcome, and even like business leaders, they can be the part of that conversation.
Awesome. I mean, the teaser is already looking more and more exciting to be here tomorrow. And one more thing, compliance. Amazon Q Developer takes your
Exactly.
coding compliance
Exactly.
up the roof. So that if you've been having issues, with your developers and compliance, you want to see what and how Amazon Q Developer can help you improve your compliance within your coding. Um, on your coding team up to 60-70%. So thank you so much, Lucky. Thank you for your time, and thank you everyone for watching. And please, I think the link to register is on the comments. Please go ahead, register so you can have access to all of the workshop links and all of the recordings, right? All of the recordings, and you can watch this over and over again. So thank you and have a great day. Cheers.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thank you all. Cheers. Bye.